How's it going, everybody? This is Alex Caceres, and you're listening to Story of the Fight.
What is up, Will?
What up, what up?
How you doing, man? Welcome, everybody, to the Story of the Fight. My name is Romero. That's my boy, Will. This is where we cover all things combat sports. And let me tell y'all, we had some combat sports on last night.
Boy, did we.
Boy, did we. Yes, and we'll be covering that. But first, I want to remind everybody, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Goes a long way. Shout out Ganskow already on. Shout out George already on. We live and direct. That's right. We are.
We're live. Check. Check one. Check.
Yeah, Ganskow saying, "Oh, Paddy the baddie." Yes, absolutely. We'll be covering that later on as well. But Will, for anybody that doesn't like watching and like listening, where else can they find us?
Yeah, it's Story of the Fight everywhere. Apple Podcasts, Google or YouTube Podcasts now it's called, Twitch, Spotify, everywhere. Everywhere podcasts are found. It's Story of the Fight. Go to storyofthefight.com. It'll list everything. You click through, hit follow, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Reddit, Twitch, everywhere. X, I keep calling it Twitter. It's X.
Dude, let's be real. It's Twitter. It's Twitter. Okay, dude.
It might be. It might be.
Right.
Yeah, but yeah, let's
you can find merch on there?
Yeah, storyofthefight.com. It'll have our Etsy store, has our shirts, Pride Never Die, Street Fighter, all that jazz. Hoodies, maybe. I don't even know. Fun stuff on there. Check it out.
Yeah, and go back and check out some of the previous episodes too. We just recently had Eddie Episolo on as well for an interview, and that was a good time.
That was fun.
Yes, that was fantastic. Fun. All right, hey, let's get right into it here. UFC 304.
Ooh.
Yeah, Ganskow says Toasty is a warrior. Absolutely. Shout out Toasty.
Yeah, real quick, shout out to Toasty. We got the Story of the Fight limited edition Toasty shirt on in support of the boy.
Yeah.
Fought on A1
sick
Combat.
Design, by the way.
Yeah, it's a cool one. Didn't get the win, but damn, he's a dog out there, dude.
Absolutely.
Damn, he's a dog. Yeah. So shout out to Toasty. He'll be back.
Absolutely. We love him. But yes, let's get going into UFC 304. We had Belal Muhammad versus Leon Edwards was the main event. Look, I wasn't looking forward to this one very much. I'll tell you right now. Not the biggest Leon Edwards fan.
Really?
Not the biggest Leon Edwards fan. Not because I think he's a bad guy. I just kind of think he caught Usman on his way out and getting a little bit older.
You're a Belal believer.
No, I don't like Belal either.
Oh,
that's why going into this, I was like, it's cool, I guess. Really looking forward to the co-main event. Really looking forward to Paddy the Baddie. So this one was whatever for me, you know what? But did this fight pretty much go exactly how you thought it was going to go?
I didn't know how this was going to go. I was looking forward to this fight because everyone was like, oh, it's a foregone conclusion. Their first fight, Leon was kind of piecing them up. And we don't really need to see where it was going. It was looking like he was going to finish Belal. That's what a lot of people were saying. In my opinion, Belal has some of the best game planning in MMA right now. And you see it when he fights a striker, he wrestles him. When he fights another strong grappler, he beats him up on the feet. Look at how he did Sean Brady, right? Everyone's like, well, Sean Brady's got crazy jiu-jitsu. Belal needs to be careful taking him down. And he just fucked him up with his hands, So, he's very good at game planning and fighting a specific fighter. He was losing that first Leon Edwards fight, which, in my opinion, if you're a good game planner, that's almost better for the rematch. You know what I mean? It's almost like a blessing that the eye poke happened and they didn't continue with that fight because now Belal knows what doesn't work against Leon Edwards. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he can then come into the next fight a different fighter.
And Leon probably thinks I figured it out, so let's just carry it over to the next fight.
Yeah, Ganskow says, I'm glad Belal won. Leon got one Hail Mary KO and made finger guns his whole personality. Yeah, the headshot dead. But look, for me, that's why I was interested in this fight. And you can go through our Reddit history. I argued with some people about this. I said, this fight doesn't, I'm glad this fight's happening. People were hating on it. I was glad it was happening. I thought, look, do I think this fight is going to be a banger? No, that's not what I thought going into this. But not every fight needs to be a banger. Some fights I like just because they answer questions that I have. And this was that type of matchup for me. And it did answer some questions that I had. It was a fun, like, experiment fight for me. You know what I mean? They don't all have to be, Stephen Bonner versus Forrest Griffin. We had some sloppy bangers on this card. You get a mix of everything.
Oh, no, don't talk to Dana about this card. He was not very happy about this card. And
before we get into this fight, press conference, King Green, Bobby Green, he's like, hey, what if if you say it's the biggest card of the year or whatever, after 300, like, let's make the bonuses 100K. Dana's like, oh, okay. But they always do that game. Now, every press conference, they ask for higher bonuses, and they say, okay. Post-fight press conference, this is my rant. We'll get it out of the way early. Post-fight press conference, Dana goes, oh, this is the last fucking time I do that. We had 7 straight decisions on this card, and you think the more money didn't incentivize anybody to kill it, to like go for the kill. So why am I going to do that again? And he's so close. He's so close. And if anybody in that press conference had a little bit of a spine instead of being scared to get blacklisted, where half these guys in there probably they're UK media. So it's like, dude, you're not going to even, a lot of them don't come to the States. So it's like, you could get banned. It doesn't matter. You know what I mean? But in that moment, God, can someone just say, so more money doesn't incentivize them to go for the kill. So maybe we get rid of the show/win money. Splitting their paycheck for the win bonus is to incentivize them to go for it. But you literally just said more money on the line didn't incentivize anybody. Can we please make the connection, Dana? You stupid son of a bitch.
Whoa. Hey, dude.
No, fuck them. Anybody who hits their wife in public, they could get it.
That's for sure.
So
that's fair.
That is fair. There's all this talk of they walk themselves into corners, and if they applied the same logic to what they're saying that benefits them then to stuff that they say about other things in the past, they'd realize that they have no argument. I hate that shit. I hate it.
Yep.
Same thing with Joe Rogan when he's talking about the same exact thing with Francis on his podcast last week, where he's like, I don't think the show win money should do anything. It doesn't benefit the fighter. I don't think it incentivizes anything. And Francis is like, who does it benefit? He's like, I don't think it benefits anyone. And Francis is like, what about the promotion? And he's like, I don't think it benefits them. And you're like, Joe, come on.
It benefits them financially.
That cognitive dissonance, dude, from the people at the top, when everybody knows it's just so that they could pay less. So stop trying to give it a reason of it incentivizes the fighters to try harder because they get more money if they win. They want to win no matter what.
Yeah.
No matter what, they want to win.
I think Francis said it too, right? Like they get to that point by winning.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So like it pisses me off when they play ignorant and they pretend like they don't make that connection, but they make that connection. They know.
Yeah.
But don't treat us like idiots. You know what I mean?
Ganska saying bonus base should be raised regardless. They've been 50K for so long. Absolutely. Inflation, man.
At this point, they're making less than they were 5 years ago.
And George says, Will, you have an acid tongue.
Damn. I just fucking hate that shit, dude. I hate it.
That's so funny. Well, hey, back to the fight.
Shout out Ghost real quick before. What's up, guys? Probably one of the worst cards in a year of bad cards.
It was not very good.
There was some stuff sprinkled throughout, but damn. Not great.
Overall, I think part of it too was the hype leading up to, right?
Yeah, and we've been rating cards lately. What would you rate this out of 10? The whole event, not just the main card, prelims, everything.
Probably a 6.2, maybe.
6.2. I think we gave a 6.1 to the last Apex card, so I think I'm gonna have to go a little bit higher than that. I'm gonna go 6.8. Because I like the Arnold Allen fight a lot. There were some fights on here that I did really enjoy.
Okay, that's fair.
But it doesn't break a 7, in my opinion.
No, not a 7, not at all. All right, so that first round.
Let's move on. Actually, we're 10 minutes in. We haven't even talked about the fight yet.
Mohamed Belal gets what I thought is pretty easy takedown on Edwards. Edwards gets up pretty quickly, and I thought to myself, oh, okay, like maybe that builds some confidence.
Probably did.
Maybe that builds some confidence for Leon, and he's thinking, I don't have to be so worried about the
Oh,
takedown because
sorry.
if I'm taken
Yeah.
down, then I can get back up quickly, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then second round comes around. That's when Muhammad picks up Edwards, spikes him straight on his head. Look at that. Click by click. Go back a couple clicks. Boom. Up. Slams him right on his head. And it seems like it was late when Edwards thinks like, I'm going to post with his arm so I don't land right on my head.
Yeah. It also kind of froze him for a second, huh?
Yeah.
There was a split second where I thought he was out, and I was like, uh-oh. Not a good look. That's bad. You never want to be in this position. Well,
unless you're
you never want to be in Leon's position.
Breakdancing. If
Yeah,
you're breakdancing, maybe head spins, really cool.
If you're Belal, you do want to be in this position.
Yes.
Very good position for Belal.
Hilarious.
What I really liked. Well, do you want to let's do this. Let's just carry through the fight. We'll summarize kind of how the fight progressed, and then we can pick out things that we liked about it. How about that?
Sure.
Let's keep going then, because you were going through the whole fight.
Yeah, no. Third round, I think, was when Belal was in most danger. When Edwards ended up taking Muhammad's back, threatened for a majority of the round, close to 3 minutes that Leon had, right? Taking Belal's back. Couldn't really make anything happen to that. Fourth round, it's a lot of the same, actually, right?
Yeah. Well, that time it was Belal. They were trading backpack rounds.
Yes.
No?
yes, going back and forth. But I believe it was Edwards that reverses it, right? With like 30 seconds left.
Well, of the fifth, right? Or the
yeah,
fourth.
you're right.
Yeah.
That was in the fifth.
He reverses
It was 40 seconds left.
And then they're like, I'm like, dude, you're not gonna like disengage, man. Disengage. He reversed it, ends up in his guard. I'm like, disengage, get up, because you're not gonna finish this. You need to finish, and you're not gonna get it in 30 seconds in his guard. And then he was like, I might though, because he started throwing these elbows, and it was the most significant damage outside of the slam. The most significant damage of the fight was those elbows at the end, because he fucked him up for 30 seconds. He fucked him up.
Dude, as soon as he landed that first elbow, you just saw blood just gush out right away. Look at that bloody mess. Damn. You would have thought that he was in an absolute war. If this was the picture you saw, you're like, oh my God, this must have been a barn burner, absolute war, 5 rounds. But no.
Yeah. No. Instead, you look at Dana's face in this photo, and you're like, wait a second. Was it not a barn burner?
Look at his face in the background. He's so blah.
He's so pissed, dude.
He's so God. Pissed. He's like, I can't believe I'm going to have to put a belt around this guy's waist right now.
Yeah, and then he did, and he didn't look happy about that either. But
no, he did not.
But Belal gets the win, 48-47, I think, on 2 scorecards, 49-46 on the third scorecard. Leon won 3 rounds if you compile all the judges. On one scorecard, he won round 1. On one, he won 3 on all judges' scorecards, and then on another one, he won round 5. So there's an argument for some people that he won 3 rounds, 1, 3, and 5. I don't agree with that, but I guess there's an argument as seeing how judges gave him those rounds. But it didn't load up correctly on the scorecards for him to get the win. Belal gets it. Excellent game plan. Kind of a weird performance from Leon. Ghost says, so we can actually talk about maybe a little bit of the little details of the fight now. Maybe that's a good formula for the show. What do you guys think in the chat, where we summarize the fight and then we go back in? Because sometimes I think we get derailed talking about a fight where we will get into a little detail halfway through the fight and then wrap up real quick at the end of the fight. Maybe we just do a quick summary of the fight and then we start picking out the things that we like, the talking points of it.
Yeah, I'm down for anything, man.
We explore it, maybe. The show's constantly evolving. You know? Yes, Ghost says, my goodness, that picture of Belal eating that body kick, he still reaches and parries for any left-sided strike. Yeah, he has real issues. If you look at the analysis side of MMA media going into this fight, Leon Edwards is a analyst darling because of the little things he does the little positions where he outpositions people in situations where a lot of people take for granted. And you saw that in this fight where he gets that takedown up against the fence where he got the leg drag. He isolated that one leg. Just really cool little things that he would do, little trips. They didn't always work, but everybody on the analyst side is talking about how Belal does not see shots coming from the left side. And Leon's a very good southpaw. So it's like, all right.
Is that his lazy eye? No, his lazy eye is the right side. Never mind.
I don't know, dude. What if the other one was the lazy eye and the whole time he was just looking off at something else?
Oh man, you're right. I've been looking at it all wrong.
Yeah. So is Belal. But this fight, he was able to negate that a little bit. And he was the first a lot. He's a reactionary fighter. A lot of times he gets hit and then he's like, I gotta get one back. This time he was first a lot. Leon would switch to that cross guard with his lead side. Belal immediately read that and threw the uppercut right through it. That was awesome.
Yep.
He did a
flush
great
too.
Yeah, it was clean. He did a very good job of just throwing straight punches, the jab. Instead of just running at people, he was actually running at Leon. He was entering with the jab to push Leon back. He had Leon up against the fence for the majority of this fight.
The jab looked fantastic too, man. Very
it was
quick.
Nice, dude. Which in the open stance isn't normally the greatest weapon. I mean, jab's always important, but in the open stance, usually the rear hand is slotted better than the jab. But he did a good job of really getting Leon to the fence with punches instead of trying to force that position. He really did set it up well. And Leon was a little maybe complacent. I thought the first round, Leon was doing a really good job with that body kick, the southpaw body kick. His knees to the body in that first round were fantastic because that same angle, he'd either throw the kick to the body or he'd throw that knee in the clinch. He was stabbing him with the knees. Real quick, too, David, shout out David. There needs to be a new rule where in case certain time pass on the ground without any activity, they should make them stand up instead of laying there for a whole round. Ruined almost 3 rounds. There is a rule for that, but very hard to implement it when someone's on someone's back.
Yes. That's the thing. When you're in such a dominant position like that, kind of hard. Which organizations the ones that when they get a takedown, they have a specific amount of time to get a submission or else they stand back up automatically?
I don't know.
There's an organization like that. Man, I want to say that after they take them down, they have like a minute or something like that on the ground. And then if nothing happens, they stand back up. I got to research that, figure it out and see exactly.
If anybody knows in the chat, let us know.
Yeah, for sure.
That's definitely interesting. Yeah, goes Will on point about Leon being an analyst darling, but he also annoys us because the way he doesn't push his advantages. Yeah, I don't know if it's like maybe it's like a superiority complex, maybe where he also knows that he's so high level, and maybe he thinks that he can coast a little bit, like it has such an advantage over people that he doesn't need to push it, and then that catches up to you. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't know.
Like, I know I didn't realize you were such a Leon hater.
I'm not a Leon hater. It's just like you see people like Usman. You know, you think a lot of other champions out there. And you're like, dude, I could see why they're a champion, right? I see Leon Edwards. Yes, he's high level, but I never thought he would have a long reign. I never thought that he's really beloved by a lot of folks. I don't know, man. I just he doesn't strike me as somebody that was going to be holding the title for very long.
I thought if he got, I don't know. It's also tough this time for welterweight. Is tough because you finally do have guys like, we're out of this Usman, Colby, Masvidal fucking swamp of dog shit. And I'm not saying Usman's dog shit, but just that whole.
Yeah, take it easy, man.
I like Usman a lot, actually, but that whole Colby Masvidal slow down the division, title shots that aren't warranted. We're finally past that. It was not fun for me.
I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed the first Usman Colby fight. The second one was pretty good actually too, but outside of that, everything else was
knocked down Masvidal. That was fun.
Horrible. I mean, yeah, but it shouldn't have even happened in the first place. That fight shouldn't have even happened. It was kind of like a wasted title defense, even though the knockout was cool. But
super cool.
We're in this position now where we do have guys like Shavkat Rakhmonov who are coming. You know what I mean? Like, even if Leon got past Belal, Leon versus Shavkat is also a very dangerous fight, dude. Like, so yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I ever thought he would have like a long reign, but I did think he had potential to. I think he's a very complete fighter.
Shavkat Rakhmonov, dude, the boogeyman. Who wants to fight that guy right now?
Yeah, Belal, dude.
We'll see.
Belal could have said, let's do a rematch with Leon for the trilogy, but instead he said no. So they're gonna feed him to Shavkat, dude. That's gonna be a tough fight for him.
He
Actually,
said
you know what?
he's going to give him the rematch in 3 years. He said.
Yeah, which is fine. They're talking about doing. They're talking about doing Ian Gary versus Leon, and then probably Shavkat versus Belal, which I think that makes sense.
I like it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Makes sense.
I like it.
Ian Gary versus Leon has potential to be another analysis feast, but a boring fight.
Yeah, because past Ian Machado, Gary, you have Gilbert Burns, Jack Della Maddalena, Kobe, Shavkat Rakhmonov, of course,
Kobe's
our champion
still up
outlaw,
there,
and
dude.
Kamaru Usman is still number one.
Kamaru's number one. Like, we gotta. What are we doing here? All right. Ghost says, I would describe Leon as a paradoxical style that is unique style and should theoretically finish people, but doesn't because of his lack of urgency.
Yes.
Yes.
That's a good way to put it.
Yes.
And it seems like the only time that his urgency really starts picking up is when his coach gets in his face and he starts telling him, come on, son. Come on. Do you want me to stop the fight? And it's like, well, maybe try that in the first round and see if maybe he starts off with urgency in the first round and carries it throughout the entire fight.
I do think he was urgent in the first round. Rewatching that first round, he was urgent. He was landing shots. The body kick was there. The knees to the body were fantastic. He was urgent when he got taken down. He got back up
second
quickly.
through fourth.
I think Belal, dude. I think it was more of a testament to Belal than it is a knock on Leon. I think Belal really showed a different game than that first fight, and I think Leon was like, "Fuck," he got stuck a little bit. It also was 4 a.m, which is not great. Yeah. And you could argue, if you're a Leon fanboy, you could argue that benefits the non-UK fighters because they're coming over and their body might be, 4 a.m. in the UK. They might be like, yeah, this is whatever it is in America. I don't even fucking know, but for the UK fighters, it is super early in the morning. But maybe they've adjusted. It's just, it's a shitty argument, to be honest. But,
I don't know.
But yeah, it's I think
a hot mess of a card.
Yeah, it really was a hot mess. But I do like what Belal did in this fight. I thought the uppercut to that cross guard was so fucking slick, dude. I thought that was so cool. And the slams were fantastic.
And then he kept the cross guard up too after he got hit with that uppercut. Steps back, and then Belal throws a feint. And the cross guard came right down. And I was like, yeah, there you go. There's a way to kill that guard real quick.
There's some things that Leon definitely could have done. One being circle would have been nice. Because, Belal would enter with that jab and Leon would just move straight back. And you're like, ah. In the 5th round, he was starting to circle and he would mix it up a little bit and he wouldn't be up against the fence. But, man, Belal was just freezing him up against the fence. He was just, I think... Belal did such a good job setting up his takedowns and not throwing punches just to set up the takedowns. Like, he was actually striking out there. You know what I mean? Yeah. He wasn't just like, I'm going to shoot, because then it's a lot easier to defend. His timing was great. I was impressed. It's not the most exciting fight, but I was impressed.
No, dude, and you know what? Ragdolled him quite a bit in most of the rounds.
Yeah.
It was really impressive. Super
cool
impressive.
Cool sweeps from Leon. Leon was trying to get that half guard sweep where the guard sweep where he opens his guard, shoots the grapevine with his right leg, gets the underhook on the left side, and was trying to sweep with that. Eventually, he didn't get the sweep with it, but he used it to create some separation and was able to get to his feet with that. There was some cool stuff in this fight, but largely entertainment-wise, not the best.
Yes.
Kind of crazy that this was the main event over the heavyweight title fight just because it was interim.
Yes. Oh my God. Crazy. You know what? Should we just get into the co-main event?
Let's move on.
Yeah. To this is what I was looking forward to, man. We had Tom Aspinall versus Curtis Blaydes for the interim heavyweight title. Let's be real, heavyweight title, right?
People's champ or what?
Oh, dude, I love Tom Aspinall. And I'll say it. I've said it before. I'll say it again. Go back to the very first time Tom Aspinall fought, and go back to our very first recap of Aspinall. And I said on there, this guy is going to be a champion, dude. To have his size and to move around like a middleweight is absolutely ridiculous, man. His speed, his power, his ability to finish. Okay, so to your point, we can go through and just cover the fight, right?
Summarize it.
So Blaydes has come out, thrown hands once again, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people expect him, hey, he's probably going to go and shoot early. But no, Blaydes said, I got hands as well, and I want to show everybody. Maybe hurts him a little bit, that ego saying, hey, I could strike with the best of them.
Oh, yeah,
right?
yeah. I mean, he was, though. He was catching him coming in.
He caught him a couple times, yeah. Whenever that distance was closed. What was it, like a right hook in the very beginning where he's like backing up? It was a left hook. And I was like, okay, he caught him a couple times, but come on, man.
Well, he hit him with the one. He jabbed him. He left hook in a mix-up. He jabbed him coming in, and then he hit him with the 1-2. And then the next time Tom stepped in, he slipped the jab.
Hits him with stiff jab
perfectly, dude. And he lands his own shot. And then the follow-up with that right hand. Damn. I'm not gonna lie, dude. I really like both these guys. But that being said, I was rooting for my boy Curtis.
You were?
I was, dude. And look, I was like, I'm happy either way. I really, really, really like Tom. I think he's fantastic. I like him as a person. I think his fighting style is very fun. He's obviously incredibly skilled. I really like Tom. But I really like Curtis too, dude. Curtis seems like such a good dude.
He does.
And he gets a lot of hate. And I don't really understand why. Yes, he's a wrestler, but he has nasty ground and pound. Like his elbows fuck people up on the ground. There's a reason he's got a fucking razor blade tattooed on his fucking arm for his elbows. Like he's gnarly, dude. He's not just like a lay and pray fighter.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, he gets knocked out by everybody. And it's like, all right, first off, dude gets knocked out by Francis Ngannou. It's pretty hard, you know.
Yeah.
What is it? A Ford Pinto, Ford Escort, whatever it was.
Ford Escort.
Yeah,
I think it was like 60 miles an hour.
Escort, I'd probably die. And then he gets knocked out by Derek Lewis, also known as the guy with the most knockouts in UFC history. Not bad. You know what I mean? And then what was the other one? Sergey
Pavlovich.
Yeah, pretty hard puncher. And now Tom Aspinall. But it's not like everyone's saying he's chinny and stuff. And it's like, dude, he's getting hit by monsters. Like, there's no slouch in getting finished by those guys. Like, it's not like he's getting finished by like 50-year-old Arlovsky with pillow hands. You know what I mean? That's not what's happening. Yeah. So I think he gets unwarranted hate. I think
he has also beat, let's see here, Mark Hunt, Alistair Overeem, JDS, Alexander Volkov, Jairzinho Rosenstruck. I mean,
he's good, dude. Curtis Blaydes is very good. Too. He's very good.
Almeida.
That was sick. And he's just seems like a really good person. He's got Ben Tynan in his corner, Vanilla Thunder. Like, I like the crew. I like Curtis Blaydes. I think he's very cool. Every time I see an interview with him, he seems very humble. He seems just like a good person. So I wanted to see him get a belt. It's not so much
last interview he's talking about a speech impediment too.
Yeah, like he's like, people like, you know, growing up with that, people think you're like slow, and it's like, it sucks and it feels like it's hard. And it would have been cool to see him get a belt. And I think that's why I wasn't rooting for Curtis because I wanted Tom to lose. I just wanted to see Curtis achieve the championship level, you know? So it is sad, and I don't want to see him get knocked out. He's a good guy. But as Ganskow says, we learned nothing from this fight. We really didn't. Once again, right? Yeah, once again. Oh, did I say Ganskow? My bad. Ghost. Yeah. And George, those elbows landing over him, still some of the nastiest ever. Yeah, Curtis is sick, man. But yeah, once again, we still haven't gotten to see Tom get tested by like a legitimate wrestler because he never even got the chance. In fact, Tom pressed Curtis up against the fence for a second in this fight.
I mean, but Blaydes is a legitimate wrestler.
True. No, but we haven't seen him. We haven't seen his wrestling get tested by a legitimate wrestler. Is how I should have said that. Because no one's been able to get to him. I mean, he just keeps knocking people out, dude.
I mean, maybe that's just how he handles wrestlers. You know, he's like, let me not
Yeah.
get to that point. Let me just drop him real quick.
Yeah. One thing we did learn though is that he still has not fixed the way he enters with his chin. That is something that he does
Leaves
need
it up.
to correct. Yeah, he really does come
Leaves
in
it
with
up.
his chin up.
And he is a finisher.
Yeah, well, we knew that.
Yeah, but he's one of the best finishers, man. You know,
I mean, 1
as
minute.
soon as he smells blood, dude. Come on.
How many times has he left the first round? It was just the Arlovsky fight, right?
Let's take a look, man. Let me pull it up here. So we have he beat Curtis Blaydes first round, Pavlovich first round, Marcin Tybura first round. Man, beat Volkov first round. Andre Arlovsky second round.
Yeah, that's still the only time in the UFC that he's been out of the first round.
Wow.
We still don't know his gas tank. We still don't know. Like, there's still things we don't know. Yeah,
Doesn't need it.
He's like, gas? What about these hands? His hands are gas. He's out there with petrol.
He's an absolute monster. Props to DC, by the way, at the end, where instead of saying like, "Hey, you're interim champion," he said, "You're heavyweight champion." Maybe a little bit of a shot at John Jones too.
DC's very excited to say that. Also, we forgot in the Belal fight.
Yeah, it's so funny.
His name, dude.
It's the best when he says, "Give it up for your champ, Leon Rocky Edwards." Wait, no. Belal Muhammad.
Dude,
so
and then,
funny.
Dude, I think Belal legitimately pissed him off when he was like, they're talking about his diet, how shredded he looked. He's like, yeah, I can't like you, and he like pats him on the belly, and DC's like, all right, this interview's over. Just as soon as he touched him in the belly, he's like, that's it.
So funny, dude.
Like, come on, dude.
Classic. All right, man. But hey,
Ganscow says heavyweight division is cooked. Yeah, I don't know. The UFC, dude. John Jones is just like, they said they're going to make Tom the backup. Here's my tinfoil hat theory. They said they're going to make Tom the backup for Stipe versus John. I don't think that fight happens. I think at this point, they're going to get Tom versus John. I think that's what's going to happen. If John comes back, actually, I just don't see that Stipe fight happening, man. If there's an injury, I mean, it's so likely that there's an injury in the fight camp leading up to that. Ghost says, all we know is Tom moves well, has defensive liabilities, chin up, and he's dangerous. What we learned, Tom moves well, has defensive liabilities, and he's dangerous. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Pretty much.
Classic.
He said he's going to have the greatest walkout ever. I don't think that delivered. Also, though,
so funny when DC says, like, hey, you know, I know you want your fight against John Jones. Send him a message, man. And the best, it goes, hello, John. The way he starts it, like he's writing a proper letter, dude. I want to start off by saying I have nothing against you personally, but dude, it's so funny. But I think I can beat you.
Yeah, what I thought he should have done, I thought he should have called out another contender and just completely disregard John as a champion and just say, look, I'm just going to keep defending this belt because I'm the real champ, and whoever's the next in line can get it. I thought that would have been a good move.
That would have been good.
But because you know that would have pissed John off. He would have tweeted like 10 fucking times and then deleted him by the morning. And then anytime you piss John Jones off, it's a good time. So
yeah, true. All right, man. Anything else on the co-main event?
No. Curtis will be back, hopefully. Everyone's like, this is Curtis's last chance. It's like, dude, it's heavyweight. He's gonna win the next 3 fights and get another title fight. It's heavyweight, dude. There's no issues.
All right, we'll move on here. Speaking of fantastic
real quick, before we move on, sorry to cut you off mid-segue. Ganscow says Alex catches Tom coming in with the left hook, becoming the triple champ. Curtis caught him with the left hook coming in.
Oh, maybe. Good call, Ganscow. Let's see it happen. I
think Aspinall beats him still. I think Aspinall beats him. But
all right, we had Paddy Pimblett versus Bobby Green.
Whoa. Oh, shit. I was about to give you shit for not calling him King Green, and I put fucking Bobby Green on the title card.
There you go, dude. There you go. Paddy the Baddy versus Bobby Green. And again, like I was saying, fantastic entrance. Paddy the Baddy. I text you, and I said, I believe I text George too, right? I was like, this entrance just got me so hyped for the fight.
Yeah, they got him in the orange shorts finally, the Sakuraba shorts. As he was walking out, I was talking to Brian. I was like, dude, it would be sick. I love Bobby Green, but it would be sick if the first fight back with the Sakuraba shorts, he gets a submission. And then it happened.
And then it happened. Hey,
Yeah.
Bobby Green's entrance, also legit. The way he jumps in and rolls and like stands up like yelling at Paddy, and Paddy
Well, I like
has
how
to acknowledge it.
He like takes his shirt off and like gives it to people in the crowd and stuff.
Well,
Like
I
it's
wouldn't
very,
say he gave it.
yeah. Well, but he throws
Somebody
it.
just snatched it and he
But
like
he always
looked
does
back.
that. He always
Yeah,
does that.
no, it's just so funny though. Just seeing his reaction, he like look back real quick.
Yeah.
And Paddy, by the way, phenomenal shape.
Always shredded, dude. Always shredded come fight time.
Yeah.
Cannot
come
be
fight
good for the body to fluctuate like that, but always shredded. Never had an issue making weight, nothing like that. He gets there.
He's a professional.
Yeah.
So what do you think about the fight?
Yeah, they go in. Oh, I had a picture with the walkout. I didn't even show
Look
it.
at that, dude. The way he just bounces his arms up and down, dude, as he walks in.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. The entire crowd going nuts, man.
Yeah.
I love it. I absolutely love it.
But yeah, Paddy did a good job of I liked his feinting on the feet. Oh, okay. We'll summarize the fight. A lot of straight shots landed, leg kicks landed from both sides. Paddy was hitting Bobby as Bobby marches a lot. He'll bring up his lead leg because people like to leg kick him so much.
Yep.
And Paddy was catching him while he was on one foot, which is always like amazing to do. But Bobby was landing his shots.
A lot of talking from Bobby.
A lot of talking from Bobby, textbook Bobby. Paddy hits him with the leg kick as he's trying to scoot back out of it, catches him off balance a little bit. He grabs the leg, runs through with it. I don't think it was necessarily like a planned takedown attempt like people are kind of clowning on him for. I don't think that was the case. I think it was just in the mix-up that was like, I'm going to go with this momentum and take this guy down type of thing. When you're in there, it's not like you're thinking like it's not an armchair experience, like you're in a fight.
Yeah.
So he kind of shoots on him there. Paddy jumps guillotine immediately. And I was like, oh no, this is not good for Bobby, because say what you will about Paddy, I know he has a ton of haters. I know he, like Tom, leaves his chin up in the air when he enters. There's some holes in his games. People hate him for getting gifted a decision against Jared Gordon, which that's on the judges, not Paddy really. And Paddy, people didn't like his reaction to that because he was like, no, I won that fight, whatever. People were like, no, you didn't, be honest about it. And then since then, he has been. He's like, yeah, I have gone back, and like that was not a good performance. And you're like, cool, great. So what are people mad about? They still are though. But people will pretend that fighters they hate are not skilled, and that is not the case. Just because you hate them does not mean they're good or they're not good. And one thing that Paddy has always had is very good jiu-jitsu. Go back and watch his Cage Warrior stuff. He does some very cool stuff in grappling tournaments. He is good. And in this position, you can see he jumped guillotine, but look where his leg is and look where Bobby's left hand is.
High right away. Yep.
Leg is up. Bobby's hand is below the leg, which then sets up the triangle because that same leg is over the shoulder now.
Very fast recognition as well from Paddy for that.
Yeah. And he goes triangle. He doesn't quite have a good lock underneath the knee. But he switches the angle. He grabs the hook here. He hooks Bobby's left leg with his right arm, gets the underhook on that, pulls it, because you want to be looking down at the ear, not at the top of the head. You want to be perpendicular across them, not along them. But the lock isn't quite there. There's opening on that lock. So he ditches the leg, goes back to square on him, fixes the lock, hooks the leg again to go back on the angle. Very cool. And then in the transition to sweep him with the triangle, there's them hooking the leg. In the transition to sweep him with the triangle, he ends up on top, and Bobby is out. And then he switches to the armbar and pops his arm, and they'll call it, and then he lets go, and Bobby was out the whole time. So he armbarred the guy who was unconscious, which is fucking horrible. Because he couldn't tap to the armbar. It's just not fun, but it was a fun fight, dude. I liked this fight. I'm a big Green fan, but it was a fun fight. in that
Statement
crowd.
made, bitches. Dude, that's so good.
Where are you on the Paddy love hate meter?
I love Paddy the Baddy, dude. Come on. I just love entertainers, dude, but he could
Yeah.
back it up too. And yes, he's not perfect. I don't think he's the most elite in his division, but I do think that he's better than most people give him credit for.
Yeah.
And again, when you're able to energize an entire crowd like that and then still put on fun fights.
Yeah.
You see it, and we'll talk about it later on down the road. We got a couple fighters bickering at each other, talking all this, and then as soon as it's time to fight, like you get the exact opposite. Paddy always brings it, dude. He's a lot of fun.
That's true. So,
So,
and he could be a flawed fighter and still be fun.
Yeah, Ganskow says I like the idea of Paddy and Moicano coaching tough and fighting each other next. Dude, that'd be so fun.
Yeah, Paddy said that in the post-fight press conference. That would be hilarious. The worst part, though, is that the UFC production team wouldn't do it justice, and it would be such a wasted opportunity. And if they did it correctly, it would be amazing. But Ultimate Fighter, the way they edit
this would bring Tough back to life.
Not if they film it the same way they have been for the past 6 seasons, where it's just like the most basic, just run-of-the-mill, moving through it with no intention of anything. If they actually
would just
made
have
it a
to
good
say,
TV show,
let them go at it, right? Just let them be them, and just record it like a reality TV show, and just they're gonna give you your moments.
Hey, shut up, Ganskow. Come on, because right now this is what Tough is. I want to like Tough. I grew up watching Tough. I loved it.
Yeah.
I was excited every day after baseball practice. I'd go home, have my burrito, and then watch fucking Tough. It was sick. Lately now, this is how it goes. You get each episode a little bit of an intro. Then you have, let's say me and you are fighting, right? It's our episode to fight. We get
background stories.
We get 5 minutes of nothing, just kind of walking around the house, meandering, transition shots. Yes, we know you're in Vegas. We don't need an establishing shot every fucking 30 seconds of Vegas. And then, cool, we're following Ramiro now. What's your backstory? It's you sitting in a camera, sitting in a room, talking to a camera, explaining who you are, where you came from, couple videos of you in your kitchen at home. And then it's cuts of you training for the fight for 15-20 minutes, and then now it's Will's turn to be showcased. 15-20 minutes of the same thing for me. Turns out a lot of fighters are very similar, so it's like watching the same thing over again. And then you fight at the end, and then it's a quick little next episode preview, and that's the entire show now.
Yeah,
it's crazy, dude.
Pretty cookie cutter, huh?
Yeah, you know how you fix it? You want to know how you fix it? You go back to, there's also no stakes in the fight because the matchups are predetermined as far as who's fighting who in the first episode. It's already decided. The first episode should be the draft still. The first episode, you get to know everybody a little bit, open workout, then you have a draft. Whoever gets first pick in the draft, whoever gets second pick in the draft gets to pick the first matchup. And then, cool, that fight happens. Next episode, team challenges. Bring the team challenges back.
Yes.
Whoever wins the team challenges picks the next fight. That way there's something, at least people say it's not a team sport though. At least it's entertaining to watch. And it's a TV show at the end of the day. And through that, we get to learn about these fighters. We don't need them to sit at a camera and tell us about their lives because it's not compelling. Just bring back the team challenges. Whoever wins the team challenge of that episode picks the next matchup. And then you don't know what's happening. Ghost says, what type of burrito did you have after baseball practice? From Chipotle? Chipotle was not a thing at the time. As far as I know of, it wasn't, at least in my area at the time. Shout out Doña Esther's and San Juan Batista. And shout out Adam Haracha, one of the boys from back in the day. It was extended family owned the restaurant, and there was a secret burrito on the menu that was the Adam Haracha burrito. And if you told them that, you get the Adam Haracha burrito. Big ass super burrito, dude. Fucking asada, all the works. Fucking wet sauce, massive burrito. You take that home. Fucking perfect for watching Ultimate Fighter, dude. Fucking
perfect for watching Ultimate Fighter.
You just had baseball practice. You're exhausted. You had to run a bunch. All this stuff. You get a massive Adam Haracha burrito. Take that shit home, dude. Watch Mayhem Miller talk shit to Bisping.
Oh, those were the good old days, such a good season too, man.
God, the good old days.
Such a good season. All right. Yeah. But yes, agreed. Very cookie cutter right now with Tough.
Yeah.
So got to change something up. But if you do have somebody like a Paddy the Batty versus Renato Moicano, that's a really good start. You have some great coaches. It's going to draw in a lot of folks, put a lot of eyes on it. But then after that, you definitely have to do something to fix it and keep viewers on.
Because you can't just rely on the interesting coaching aspect, because we had Chandler Connor and everyone's like, Tough is back, baby. Connor's going to be so funny this season. And then they just wasted all of it again. And you're like, well, it sucked again. Like, you can't just have good coaches.
Suck.
Yeah.
We suck again.
We suck.
All right. So
do we want to skip this next fight?
Let's do it.
We're already 45 minutes in. RoboCop is cool. I like the guy, but we can not do that.
Yeah, hey, props to him, though. A lot of power in his striking. As soon as the close of distance, he has those short hooks that are very clean. Dealt a lot of damage to Duncan.
Yeah, the very cool. I like Duncan's elbow that split open RoboCop. It was a fun fight. It's just, we're already 45 fucking minutes in. We talked mostly about Tough.
And burritos.
But
the burrito sounds amazing, though. I'm glad you actually mentioned that. Next time I'm in town, I'm going to stop by Doña Esther's and see if they still hook up that secret burrito.
I don't think you can get the Adam Harach burrito anymore, but you can still get burrito. It's still good.
Dude. It's all about El Chorito now. All right.
I had that yesterday.
Oh, so good. I'm jelly. We had Arnold Allen versus Giga Chikadze. What'd you think, Will?
Boy.
Speed advantage?
Very much. Speed advantage, Chikadze. Power advantage, Chikadze.
Okay.
Game plan, execution, dogness, Arnold Allen.
Dogness level.
Dogness level was Arnold Allen's favorite. Faraz Zahabi, mastermindness, full display in this fight once again. I know a lot of people say he's not a very good coach and he got lucky with GSP. I think that's revisionist. I think he's very good still. He's just more selective and just not quite at the forefront anymore. But game plan wise, this fight, very good from Allen's side.
Non-stop pressure.
Non-stop pressure, circling the correct way.
On his back foot constantly.
Mid-fight adjustments. Because, obviously, Giga, you want to stay away from that right kick to the body, especially. So you circle away from it so he can't throw that. I would like to see Giga have more weapons on the left side. I think a left hook would be nice. A lead left hook would be good if someone's circling that way constantly. For the love of God, start throwing lead leg outside kicks, please, because someone's circling into that, and he kept throwing open side attacks. Please throw an outside leg kick with your lead leg when it's an open stance. He's walking into it. We need something on that side. You cannot keep trying to circle and reset to throw your right side weapons, because he was very disciplined and just kept circling with him, and he was in perpetual movement because he was looking to land something from his right side instead of having some answers on his left side. But Arnold Allen did a very good job making reads, because he did lose that first round, I thought. Arnold Allen. There was a cool sequence where as I talk shit about it, there's a left side attack right there. But the flying knee was sick. Arnold Allen kind of caught it and tried to throw him off of him, and he ended up stumbling, which made him look more rocked. And then he turned around and then immediately front kicked Giga and puts his hands up all right, dude, we're back. David, this is a good point. Chikadze said he injured his shoulder at the end of the first round. Checked to the doctor. He looked good, though. He's going to get shredded back in Georgia. They don't like losing. Yeah, I think he said he might have to have surgery, though, I thought. And I don't know if it was what shoulder it was, but maybe that's why there was not a ton of stuff coming from the left side from him, if that shoulder was fucked up. But another adjustment that I really liked from Arnold Allen was he would hop in. He started hopping in that floating knee entry, because Giga was landing the body kick, and eventually Arnold Allen started doing that cross body check where he brings his lead leg across his own body, pulls it up, and blocks his body with the knee, right? Which is very cool. And he started entering with floating that knee, like Max Holloway did in the second fight against Volkanovski, to take away the leg kicks. But he would hop in with that lead leg up, ready to cross body check if he needed to.
Mm.
And Giga just kept having to reset. He was like, fuck, that's not my entry. That's not my entry. That's not my entry. Allen just did a very good job of just smothering the kicker, doing exactly what you have to do to kind of overwhelm a kicker like Chikadze. I really like this fight.
Yeah, very strategic, and I love that Allen, would wait up until he would have Chikadze up against the fence until he would throw a lot of combinations, and he'd have some bursts of his own. But very, very great job of by Allen in executing.
Yeah, David said it was the left shoulder. Shout out David with the info. Helps the show
thank you, David.
when we have some info get added. But yeah, I really, really like that fight. Allen is so good, dude. I mean, outside of he had that stumble against Max Holloway, right? But can you blame him? Holloway.
Who doesn't against Max Holloway? Other than Bukauskas.
Yeah. But like that's the thing. Like everybody's like, like when he lost to Max, that's a post-Volk Max that he lost to. So what does it even mean? And then Max goes out and knocks out Justin Gaethje, and it's like, well, actually, it's quite a bit still.
True.
Very true. And then he had the loss to Evloev, which I thought I'd have to rewatch it, but I feel like I remember thinking maybe that could have been a toss-up fight. It was close. I like Arnold Allen, dude. He's very cool.
All right.
He's funny too. When Paddy got his orange shorts and Leon got his shorts, he was like, "Can I get my my gray sweat shorts that are covered in piss stains?"
So funny.
Hilarious, dude.
Do you want to skip this next fight? Or do you want to cover this one real quick? We had Nathaniel Wood versus Daniel Pineda.
Yeah, it'll be quick though. It'll be quick.
Okay. So Pineda, an absolute dog, right?
As always.
As always, man. Always in fun fights. He does such a good job too. Whenever he's off his back, threatening with that Kimura and using it to sweep.
Yeah, that was sick.
But what got him in that situation, got that kick right to the solar plex there.
Dropped him that body shot, dude.
Yes.
Sick.
Absolutely. Go ahead. What were you going to say?
Nathaniel Wood is quickly becoming one of my favorite fighters to watch. He is so fun to watch. He fights like he's in the Matrix, man. Like he fights like everybody else is moving in slow motion. And I don't just mean like he's fast, because he is very fast, but like his defensive striking is so fun to watch, because a lot of guys like Leon in this Belal fight, he was getting jabbed up and he moved straight back. Nathaniel's out there angling off, ducking shots, landing his own shots, ducking, and then escaping. Like he doesn't just move back in a straight line. Like he's so crafty, man. His shot selection, the body shots, the leg kicks, the hook, I mean, the uppercut, like he goes in the zone. It seems like every fight he's in, he hits his flow state. And I don't know if I've ever seen a fighter who does that so frequently than Nathaniel Wood. I think he is so complete. He's so good.
Solid.
It's crazy. Like he needs to start getting these bigger fights, because he lost to someone recently and they were fouling.
Yeah, he lost
like a
to
ton.
Mohamed Naimov.
That's the one. Yeah. And remember, Naimov was fouling like over and over and over, and then no repercussions. And it's like, fuck, dude, because that set him back. He was on that ascension and that set him back. And I think Nathaniel Wood, he's a future champ, I think. I think he could get a belt.
Ooh.
I think he's so good, dude. I'm so high on him.
Oh, wow.
His shot selection is fucking crazy, dude. Like, you just don't know what he's going to throw. You could see for a while, Pineda was like frustrated too. He kept like, he'd reset and just be like, fucking hell, man. Like,
yeah, but also, I mean, he gets caught with the left on the right eye, and you just see it get busted. And dude, as soon as he gets hit with that, look at that. Great picture selection there. Look, just going back and forth.
Shout out Chris
nice.
Unger.
And right away, he starts like kind of rubbing his eye. Nathaniel comes after him and starts blitzing him after he starts rubbing his eye. Pineda, being the dog that he is, throws a couple big hooks as he's backing up. He catches Wood and Wood's like, okay, I can't just blitz in like a wild man right away, because Pineda's still always dangerous, right? But the rest of the fight, it was Pineda rubbing his eye over and over and over again. It bugged him.
It could have been. There could be a break there, you know. Could be like a fracture in there or something.
Possibly. Hey, shout out to the medical team in London for allowing this one to continue as well. When they zoom in before the third starts, and the doctor's like opening up his eye, and he's like, "Can you see?"
Like,
Can
now
you
I
see
can,
it?
thank you.
Yeah, and Pineda's like, yeah. He goes, cool, let's it go. And it just shuts up again. He's like, he's gonna fight. So good.
That's one thing I said. I was like, dude, Pineda's is a tough go right now because in the first round he gets dropped with a body shot. Second round he gets hit in the eye, hurts him. I think it was the second round, maybe at the end of the first. I think it was the second. Second round, he gets dropped with the leg kick, and then they're on the. He gets dropped with the leg kick, and Nathaniel Wood is standing above him, blasting kicks to that same calf while he's on the ground, and it's just like, man, if there's a fighter who wants to get an out and say, "Hey, I can't see out of this eye,"
It'd be
I
him.
will. I do
Right
not
there.
blame him, man.
Right there. That would have been it.
It's a tough spot, man. It's been a hard go up until this point. There's no shame if you want to take that out. And he said, "Fuck that, dude."
Yeah, instead he
I'm a
comes out,
dog.
the crowd starts cheering because he wants to continue. He starts pumping the crowd up, and I'm like, oh, let's go, dude.
Yeah. And then Nathaniel Wood was like, "I'm still in my flow state, dude."
Yeah. He still cracked him.
I mean,
and then Pineda's like, damn, I probably should have gone out right now and just said, hey, I can't see out of my eye.
There was just so many sequences where Wood would be first, lands like a 2-punch combination. Pineda would swing back. He'd slip it, take a step back, and then enter back in with a combination. And it was just like, bop, 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 slip, bop, bop, bop. And he's so fucking good, dude.
Solid,
so, yeah,
man.
that's
all right.
That's all I got for that one. But I really like Nathaniel Wood. And Ganskow, to his point, this card was full of cheaters, too. There were so many blatant fouls and no point deduction. I was losing my mind. We will talk about that, not in the next fight, but the one after that, for sure.
Bruna, Brasil versus Molly McCann. Meatball Molly. That was the fight right before this one. Again, Molly, especially when she's fighting England, comes in with a lot of hype, a lot of energy. Look at that picture there. That's a great picture.
ESPN didn't show the walkout for Molly, and I was like,
yeah, what are we doing?
What the fuck are you doing?
What are we doing? Brazil doing a great job moving laterally, right? McCann chasing her, swinging wildly from a distance, ducking a lot when she's trying to throw that overhand left.
Gets punted right in
beautiful read by Brazil.
Yeah. I'll just real quick, let's get it out of the way because there's a picture of it. But the kick to the groin, the rare kick to the groin in women's MMA, was a tough one.
Oh no, that picture.
Dude.
Yeah, but leading up to you see the mouse on her forehead already, and that's from Molly. Again, she ducks, throws that overhand left, and Brazil catches her with a knee, and they're like, okay, well, it looks like it was partially blocked by her forehead. It was blocked by her forehead because that's where that mouse came from.
And then Bruna destroying her to the body in that first round. Absolutely destroying her to the body with kicks, with knees. She hurt her to the body, dropped her at one point to the body. I thought they were going to stop it when she went down with that body shot that dropped her. But she hurt her to the body, I think, 3 different times in that first round. And I was like, oh, that's tough to overcome. Like, that's not something that, like, resets, Like, once that starts happening, it's like you're real weak there for the rest of that fight. But props to Molly, dude, for just fucking
dog level
one out, dude. Yeah, always
high dog level.
Yeah, high dog level.
Is that anything?
The highest level, like the most high level thing of her game is her dogness.
That is true.
To say?
Yes. Yes, absolutely. Not sure that's the best.
Hey, it'll get you somewhere. It
will. It will.
But yeah, I mean, decent scrap. Molly ends up on her back to end the fight. But the real iconic part of the fight was that first round, just destroying her to the body, man.
Go back to the last picture. Look at her midsection. Look how red her left ribs are. Oh my god.
I mean, she was lighting up the body the whole time.
Yeah. Great footwork by Brazil the entire fight, though.
Yeah.
Really good.
Because, I mean, look, this is Brazil as a kicker like Chikadze. Molly McCann wants to pressure like she did, like Allen did, but it just wasn't quite the same, like, craftiness to it, or like the way she was trying to smother the kicker was not quite as high level and nuanced as Arnold Allen did, you know? But kind of a similar matchup, I guess, style-wise.
True.
But yeah.
All right. Well, now we'll move on to the next one here. We had, we're skipping some fights for the sake of time, but we're covering Mokaev versus Manel Kape. You know what? Have you ever seen those videos where they have like a fence, and on each
I
side
know
of the
exactly what
fence
you're
there's
talking about. The
dogs that are
dogs.
just like barking at each other and like look like they're about to bite each other's heads off, and then they move the fence and they just like sniff each other's ass, and
Yeah.
you're just like, hey, what's up, dude? What's up? And then they put the fence back up and it's like, dude.
Well, yeah, because this was the weigh-in. This was before the fight even started, and then this was the fight.
This was the first round. The entire first round. Oh my god.
Until the last 30 seconds, where Manel put a combo together. That was the whole first round.
Oh man.
But some backstory. There was an altercation at the PI. Manel Kape jumped Mokaev allegedly. And then at the hotel, like the day before, 2 days before the fight, Mokaev asked Manel, said, let's bury the hatchet. We're two Muslim fighters. Let's bury the hatchet. Let's take a photo. And he was like, okay, yeah.
Showpiece.
And then they pose for a selfie. And while they're posing, fucking Mokaev hits him. And you're like, dude, that's crazy, dude. I've never heard of that, dude. Let's take a selfie and then just fucking punch him while you're posing. God, could you imagine if instead of taking a photo, he was recording the whole time and there's just a selfie cam video
why
of him
didn't
just
he do
sucker
that?
punching him, dude?
That should have been. He should have done that because that would have gone viral.
Yeah, it would have been crazy, dude. But yeah, and then he admitted to it in the post-fight press conference. They're like, "Yeah, I sucker punched him." It's like remember the Charlie Murphy, Rick James story where he's like, "What am I gonna get dirt on some couch or dirt on his couch like it's something to do? No, I'm not gonna do that. Yeah, I put.
Yeah, I
dirt
did
on
it.
Just immediately after, dude. Oh my god, dude.
Yeah, it's saying both guys threw more strikes before the fight than during the fight.
Yeah,
Classic.
Mokaev got released. But yeah, so first round,
Oh
I
my
thought
god.
you got to give the first round to Manel Kape, in my opinion, just because the only thing that was significant in
The
that first
Blaydes at the
round
end?
was the combo at the end. So it's like, I guess if we don't do 10-10 rounds, I guess that's where you sway it. Second round was fucking crazy though, for no good reasons. But in the second round, Mokaev took Manel down, which the whole time that's why it was so slow, because Manel didn't want to get taken down. So he was very cautious about getting too crazy with the hands, because Mokaev, clearly a wrestler, wants to take him down. So he didn't want to get overzealous. So he gets taken down. And I was like, no, it's the beginning of the end for my boy. And then instead of just getting regular control, Mokaev just starts pulling his shorts down. And Manel's looking up at Mike Beltran like, bro, what the fuck? And Beltran yells something. And then he looks back. He's like, no, can you please stop this? My whole ass is out.
He's like, let go of the shorts. Let go of the shorts. And he's just pulling them down lower and lower. He's like, let go of the shorts. And then Manel's like,
he's like, bro, you got to stop this now. You can't just let this happen. They separate him. They stand him up. Beltran walks Mokaev back to his corner and is like, dude, you can't fucking do that. What are you doing? And Mokaev's like just walking around barely paying attention. And then Mike Beltran says, stop fucking moving. I'm talking to you. And you're like, oh, that's terrifying. To Ganskow's point, point should have been deducted. Ref wasn't even going to take the position until Kape told him. That's how it's supposed to work. Exactly.
Wow.
They weren't even going to stop the fight until Manel kept complaining about it. And it's like, dude, you have to. What are we talking? His whole ass is out. You got to stop this. And then, yeah, I think you do take a point there, because that's pretty egregious. That you don't accidentally do that. That's not an accident. There's accidental eye pokes, groin strikes, whatever, reactive fence grabs. What is happening here? This photo should not exist.
That's out of control. And yes, out of control. Super scary when Beltran got in his face. But do you think he cares?
All bark, no bite, dude. Just like Mokaev.
Oh my god! If there's no consequence, then the actions just continue, right?
And then after that, or I think it was even before that, he kicked Manel in the groin, and Manel had to be like, no, let's keep fighting, because he's laser focused. Then this happens. Then he eye pokes Manel, clear as day. Eye pokes him. Nothing happens. They don't even pause it. And then the other weird thing that happened in this round was Manel broke his toe or dislocated his toe or something. He reaches down to pull it back, and Mokaev runs at him. He stands up and then cracks him a split second, and we're like, oh, shit. And then for the rest of that fight, I knew this is all going downhill at this point, because every little thing Manel was reacting to at that point, you could see he had his toes up off the mat. He couldn't put his toes on the floor, so his lead leg is no longer something he can plant on. And then it was just, He did get taken down. He rolled for a leg lock. Used that to create space because you have to address a leg lock. And then used that to get up. I thought that was very cool. You can see in this photo his big toe is fucked. Look at that shit. Look at the base of that big toe on the right leg.
Wait. Yeah.
It's like jutting out right there, dude. That's not good.
Yeah. I see it.
And then the best part of the fight was Mokaev pointing down like he's Max Holloway at the end of the fight and then not moving. He's like, let's fucking go, dude. And then just
ridiculous.
horrible fight. Horrible fight. Mokaev gets the win and they release him.
There you go.
Horrible fight. We learned nothing.
And what did Dana say? PFL is going to get a great undefeated fighter.
Yeah. They're like, dude. They're like, none of my team wants to re-sign him. They all hate working with this guy. It's crazy, dude. 7-0 in the UFC, I think, right?
Wow.
7-0 in the UFC, and he has not. They didn't re-sign him.
Well,
first round submission, armbar in the third round, rear naked choke in the third round, arm triangle choke in the third round. Submitted Tim Elliott, and they just like, we'll pass.
Wow, you're that much of a piece of shit, dude, that they're like, you know what? This guy has a lot of potential. Don't want him.
Yeah.
Don't want him. Wow.
Yeah. And then to Ganskow's point, PFL doesn't even have flyweight, dude.
Dang, dude. Mokaev has to go to 1 or Ryzen.
I'd like to see him in Ryzen. That would be cool.
There you go.
See some soccer kicks, you know?
All right. Skipping fights again. We're going to cover Bukauskas versus Prachnio.
Yeah, because every card does need a sloppy banger. And this was that.
Yep.
This fight was, it sucked. I don't think you were watching at this point live. And I was like, I texted you and George, and I was like, this fight's a fucking banger.
Oh, this is when you text?
I was like, this fight's sick. And then immediately after that is when they got the takedown and they just kind of laid for a bit. And I was like, fuck.
Dude, those fights are always fun when one of the fighters gets rocked, right? In this case, Prachnio. And then you have Bukauskas that comes in and starts trying to put him out. And Prachnio leans down to his right, throws a high head kick.
How did he do that?
From super close distance and cracks Bukauskas.
Yeah, and back against the fence, almost in clinch range, somehow gets his left kick above the shoulder and legitimately rocks him with it. I don't know how the hell he got that kick up. I wish there was a photo of it. I forgot about that. I should have got a screen grab or something for the slideshow because that was so fucking impressive, dude. That was awesome.
Awesome, man.
God.
But then after
the way he opened that third round, dude, Prachnio, just is like, all right, dude, I'm exhausted. We've been swinging at each other this whole fight. Let's
just go for broke. Yeah.
And he just runs at him, dude.
Look at his face.
And he was landing, dude. He was landing.
Terrifying Viking. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then so he gets taken down. Bukauskas slowly, right? Transitioning over to the head and arm choke and makes him tap.
The fun fight, dude. Just not a ton of super high level.
This is one of the first fights, right? I think it was third fight? Fourth fight, something like that. And you had some finishes, right? Leading up to that. So I think out of the first 4 fights, 3 out of the 4 were finishes. So you're probably thinking to yourself, like, hey, okay, we're setting ourselves up for an exciting night. And then Mokaev hits.
Yeah.
And then from there, it's just
jabs off. Yeah.
All decisions all the way up until Paddy the Baddie brings some life back into the arena, dude. Jeez.
Yeah.
All right, man. Was that the last one we're going to cover?
That is the last one we're going to cover.
There we go. Moment of silence, Will. What fights did we lose?
Yeah, we had... What do we have? We had... Sean O'Bannon was supposed to fight Oliveira. Lochner was supposed to fight Tavares. Tavares fell through, so then Jake Hadley steps in. Yeah, we didn't miss much.
Okay. Who got the $100,000 bonuses?
Tom Aspinall got a bonus for his minute finish.
Nice.
Paddy got, I want to say, $200,000 bonus.
Let's go.
I got to verify that in a second. And then Mick Parkin, which we did not cover, but he did get a very cool knockout. Seems like a good guy. I like that fight.
Nice. Then what do we
Um,
have going on next week?
Next week we have one fight night 24.
I got
Jared
an
the Monkey.
invite.
Yeah, you did. You've
I
been
got an
invited.
invite. Have I?
Yeah, I personally reached out and got an invite for you, and
You
I
did.
told you
You're so sweet.
for like 3 events, and you still haven't joined. And then now
Well,
you finally get your own invite, and you're like, oh,
I don't want to be like a third wheel dude. If they're inviting me directly, it's different.
yeah. But yeah, that's
So
gonna
funny.
be a fun card. Jared Monkey got Brooks versus Ballard. That's a fun fight. Danielle Kelly, Jiu-Jitsu. That's gonna be fun. Felipe Lobo versus Nabil Anan is fucking
Oh,
crazy,
Lobo's so
dude.
fun, dude.
Lobo's coming off that close fight against Haggerty where he almost got him with a body shot, and Nabil is fucking 12 feet tall. So that's gonna be crazy. Nekrab rematch. That's sick. Shamil Gazanov is a fun fight. Yeah, this is a fun one, dude. Mahmoudi
Yep.
versus Naito is good. Rambo Lex back. This is a fun card. Oh, Yuya Pui is back. She's a banger. Alif is back. He just fought. Who did he just fight? Ellis Barboza on the last card, the last big card. Fun card. Good fight card for one. And then
Ganscow saying can't wait for one Denver. Samesies.
oh yeah, that's gonna be fun, dude. We got
Absolutely.
hotel booked. We got the flights booked. The car.
Do we have a car yet?
Not yet. I'm gonna look through AAA. I think I might be able to get a good deal through AAA instead of just going
Nice.
directly to them. But I gotta look into that. David says, "What do you think of Corey versus Umar?" And that's our next slide. Corey Sandhagen versus Umar Nurmagomedov. Finally, the fight is happening. What do you think about that?
I am excited for this fight, man. Look, I've been a huge Sandhagen fan already for some time. So for anybody that hasn't seen it, every year we have a beginning of the year predictions episode. I believe I've predicted Sandhagen for a few years. Your boy's been let down, but I think that he is an absolute talent. But this is a pretty serious test for him, man.
Yeah, I think this is a big test for both guys. There's still a lot of unknowns about Umar. It's a fun
Big
fight.
jump for Umar.
Big jump for Umar.
Big
I
jump.
like Umar's game. Everyone likes to think that he's another Khabib, but his game is very different.
Mhm.
I like him. We got Shara Bullet versus Oleksiejczuk. Hopefully Oleksiejczuk wrestles. I'd like to see that. Cheeto Vera versus Figgy.
Well, that
That's
should be
fun.
fun.
Ferguson versus Chiesa.
Don't need to see
something.
that.
We got Lupi Godinez versus Mackenzie Dern.
Okay.
Elvis Brenner versus Joel Alvarez is a fucking banger,
Alvarez, dude.
That
I
is a
love
good
his
fight.
striking. His lanky build is perfect for the division.
And Elvis Brenner's a dog, dude.
Will he come in with his hair bleached?
I hope so.
Me too.
Gaziv versus Dontel Mays is something that nobody needs. That's about it, honestly, as far as I guess Kutateladze is on the card fighting a guy. I think they just got him booked. The first fight fell through. Kutateladze is always fun.
Dumas is on the card.
Is he though? I don't know if he makes it to this is Saudi or Abu Dhabi. I don't know, man. I don't know if that record will let him travel.
Dang.
This was supposed to have Nick Diaz versus Luque, and that fell through. That's why they're on the background of this poster. Shout out to Big Marcel for putting these together so we can just visualize it instead of just read off a bunch of names.
Absolutely.
Make sure you follow him.
Well, that's it, huh?
That is it.
Absolutely. Hey, shout out to Ganscow. Thank you, David, for joining us. Is that the first time David has joined us?
Yeah, shout out David. I don't remember David in the chat, but I appreciate it.
Yeah, good time.
Good addition to the show.
George.
Also too.
Like I said, Ganscow, Ghost, George, David, fantastic. Thank you so much. So much fun whenever y'all join us live so we can chat up and talk about these fights. If you haven't already, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Goes a long way. And if you don't like watching but you like listening, there's other ways to listen.
Apple Podcast, Spotify, YouTube Podcast, everywhere podcasts are found. Story of the Fight, storyofthefight.com, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Reddit. It's all Story of the Fight. Twitch.
Oh, Ganscow throwing out the little peace signs, dude. I absolutely love it. Look at that confetti, confetti. All right, and hey, Rich, the casual, our producer, not here today. Taking a day off. I hope he's enjoying his day. But hey, I know. But shout out to none other than Will, who's been holding down the production on the back end too, and also breaking down the fight. So thank you, Will. Great job, and thank you everybody for joining us for another week of Story of the Fight.
That was why we were late.